It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. From the all-you-can-eat release, that is Fucking My Heart in the Ass. That, of course, is Steel Panther. And a guy who's ready to fuck somebody's heart in the ass, it's the one, the only, the guitarist of Steel Panther. It is Satchel. Satch, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. This is awesome. I can't believe I'm on your show.
Well, I can't believe you're here, man. I mean, right off the bat, that's the first thing I wanted to ask you, man. How difficult is it for you, even now with the success that Steel Panther is having, how difficult is it for you and the band to convince the world, basically, that Steel Panther is the greatest band in the world?
Well, it's not difficult for us to convince people when they come and see us live, because we're a great live band. And, the difficult thing, I think, for most bands in this day and age is just getting people to take the fucking time to listen, for fucking 5 minutes, I mean, we live in an age where kids don't even want to spend 99 cents on a goddamn song, much less, like, the time it takes to actually listen to it. When I was a kid, it was like you buy a record and you listen to the whole fucking record all the way through 3 times as soon as you got home, But these days, music is sort of like it's not really like as important as it used to be. It seems like, it used to be more important to people. And heavy metal, but I think heavy metal is really making a resurgence because, like in this day and age, like there's not really like what do people listen to, Yeah. There's not like one style of music that's bringing everybody together. So a lot of people are digging into the past, and I think heavy metal is really coming back. We're bringing it back.
Sure.
And the people that give Steel Panther a chance, I think the people that aren't stupid realize that Steel Panther kicks ass.
Right. Sure.
I mean, there's always the stupid people that hate us, but they can suck my dick.
Right. How much of the appeal to the band do you think is the fact that you guys do throw it back to that age where everything wasn't this serious stare at your shoes type of an attitude, where it is just fun and it's, it's about fucking and it's about partying and it's about all the things that used to be fun for everybody.
That's right. I think that has a lot to do with the reason people get into us, and it's a real big reason why people that get into us continue to come back to see us. Because, I don't know if you realize this, we have an over 99.999% return rate. People who come see us always come back, almost always.
Sure.
And the reason they do that is because it's fucking fun, and we know how to put on a fun show, and you can't be fucking serious when you're watching us because we will totally make you not be serious. And I don't know how we do that, but, let's face it, man. Like, life is short. You got to have a good time. You got to party because, there's a lot of bullshit out there. And let's face it, there's a good chance that you're going to die in the next 2 years. There's a good, solid chance. So why would you want to go live the next 2 years without fucking partying? I say party like tomorrow is the end of the world all the time.
Right.
That way, when you die from a shark attack or maybe cancer or a bus accident, then you're going to go out knowing that you partied as hard as you could right till the end.
Amen, brother. Well, let me ask you, man, you guys just went out on what was your first headlining tour. How did that go for the band? And, what lessons did you learn?
Well, we've done a few headlining tours, and but we've done Europe a few times and in the States a few times, and they just keep getting better. Our fans, it's really a word of mouth thing, and I think that's the thing that you need to depend on if you're a good band in this day and age is word of mouth, because people trust their friends, and if your friend goes and sees the show and they go, dude, you got to see this fucking band, then you're going to trust them and go out and go see them. But our tours have been great. People have a great time. Our fans have been great everywhere we go. We continue to break into new territories that we haven't been before, and kick ass. And I think even though we're getting old and our singer has a brand new titanium hip, was still rocking as hard as some bands do in their mid-30s. So it's pretty badass.
Sure. Now let me ask you, Satchel. Being out headlining, how much of an upgrade was the Pussy from when you guys were an opening act for bands like Motley Crue or Def Leppard?
Well, you know what? You've got to look at it a couple different ways. When you're an opening act, you're definitely gonna. When you're opening for a band as big as Def Leppard, then you're going to have a lot more girls in the show.
Okay.
Because those guys are playing arenas. And so you're going to have a smaller portion of the audience that wants to fuck you, because a lot of those girls want to fuck the guys in Def Leppard.
Right.
But the smaller pool is still pretty big because it's an arena-sized show. So you can find those stragglers that really don't care who they fuck as long as it's somebody that's on the stage. And for us, being as good-looking as we are, we have to rely on that. And, what we do is we have roadies that are trained to go out and find girls that look like they have low self-esteem and that are very, very easy to fuck. And so we bring those girls back while Def Leppard is on stage, and we try to get them as drunk as possible so we can fuck them before Def Leppard has a chance to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, oh yeah. Do you ever promise them that, hey, if you do me, you'll get Joe Elliott?
Oh, dude, yeah. You say whatever you have to get into their pants. Like, sometimes I've told girls that, like, my grandfather is a multimillionaire and he's going to leave me a lot of money, or that or that my cum tastes like chocolate syrup. Like, I'll tell them whatever I need to tell them to make them do things like suck my dick. And like one time I told a girl that my penis actually gets bigger once it's inside your vagina. So it's great because sometimes they go, oh, it's not very big. But it gets bigger once it's inside you. It'll grow to be twice its size. So the only way they can find out is if let you put it in. And once it's in there, like, it ain't coming out.
Right. Not till you are, right? Nice.
I know all the tricks, bro.
I guess, man. Well, dude, let me ask you, man. Yeah. When was the last time that Lexi got to bang a chick on tour that hadn't already been picked over by the other three of you in the band?
Well, you know what? It doesn't happen very often, but it does happen occasionally. Usually those girls are super duper stupid. Like, they're just really dumb, and they're attracted to Lexi because it's pure narcissism. Like, when a girl fucks Lexi Fox, she is so into herself that when she looks at Lexi, she sees herself. Like, it's usually a girl who looks kind of like Lexi.
Nice.
Tall, vacant hair, blonde hair, doesn't really give a shit about anything except for how her makeup is. And I have seen Lexi be with a girl like that, and they have both sat next to each other on the tour bus and looked into the... I actually saw Lexi have sex with a girl, and they both looked in the mirror at themselves while they were having sex. It was crazy. It was weird.
Nice. Well, Satchel, rumor has it, the tour that's coming up for you guys, which is the guest spot with Judas Priest, happened because you used to run around banging chicks with the guitar player or a roadie or something in one of Halford's other bands. Is any truth to that?
Well, I know, believe it or not, I know some of those dudes, like Scott Travis. I used to hang out with Scott Travis.
Okay.
The drummer. And he is... A lot of people don't realize how much cocaine he does. He does a lot of cocaine. Loves to party, and he also has very low standards. Scott Travis will pretty much fuck anything that moves. And he's a great drummer, but I have seen him have sex with some of the skankiest hoes. And which I love about Scott. He's great.
Sure.
He's heavy metal, dude. And he goes, you know what? That girl, so what? She weighs 300 pounds. I don't care. She wants to fuck. I'm going to do it.
Nice. And
that's the kind of dude you want to hang out with. He'll take one for the team, and he will totally, if you see a girl and she's hot and she's got a fat friend, Scott Travis will jump on that fat friend for you.
Nice.
Which that's the definition of heavy metal right there. You gotta want to have a good time.
Sure.
All the time.
I wonder for you guys though, what kind of play do you anticipate at Judas Priest shows? Since their shows, they're pretty much a sausage fest.
Totally, it's going to be a sausage fest. But see, that's part of the reason why Judas Priest got us on the bill, dude. Because they were like, you know what? We want to. I'm sure Scott Travis and Glenn Tipton, they want to see some girls at their show, and they're like, who's going to bring girls? I know, Steel Panther. And not only will Steel Panther bring girls, but they're going to bring skanky girls who like to fuck. So, that's part of the reason why we got this gig. Because, we're going to bring the sluttiest heavy metal chicks that the United States has to offer. And trust me, I've toured the United States a few times, and there are some of the skankiest girls in the world right here in the United States. It's
right.
Crazy.
Nice. Are there any limits on the gay references you guys can make from the stage on the Priest tour?
Well, I don't think there's any limits to that because, you would think, oh, yeah, well, Rob's gay, and he doesn't want to hear that shit. But, dude, our bass player has had sex with men, too, so I'm sure that, you know what I mean? Like, that, I think that gives us a right. Like, we can make gay references. Our bass player has sucked quite a few cocks in his time. If that doesn't, I mean, not to say, that doesn't necessarily make him gay, but I mean, like, I eat bananas and I'm not a monkey, but I'm telling you, it doesn't mean he's not gay either. I mean, he's the first guy to, when he goes to jail and he needs cigarettes, he's the first guy to suck on somebody's cock at the arm 10.
Right, sure. Well, let me ask you a serious one, Satchel. Given the climate that's out there, and I'm sure you see it here and there, where everyone is out there apologizing for everything that they say or do that might offend somebody, how is it that you guys have been able to kind of avoid being targeted for that?
I think it's probably because we don't give a fuck, I mean, which is pretty obvious if you listen to our records. We really do not give a flying fuck. And, nobody in our band is going to run for political office anytime soon.
Right.
So there's really there's no way that you can, there's no repercussions to anything that we say because it's just going to, if somebody wants to make a stink about us writing a song called Batgirl or Asian Hooker or, it doesn't matter to us because it really, it's just more publicity.
Sure.
Shit, why do you think, I mean, we did our latest record, All You Can Eat, we redid the Last Supper as the album cover.
Right.
And, it doesn't matter because, we figured if anybody gets pissed off about it, then they're going to just give us more publicity out of it. And really that's the name of the game. We want to spread the Steel Panther word. So, I don't know. It seems like people figure, oh, well, shit, I guess that's just what they do.
Right.
They're just speaking the truth.
Sure. Definitely.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's refreshing for people too. Like, I mean, how sick of, people are sick of being politically correct. And let's just lay it out. Speak the truth, man.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's racist jokes are funny. Let's just get that out there.
Right. I agree with you totally, man. 100%. Well, let me ask you, dude. After listening to All You Can Eat, the song, my favorite tune on the record is "Gang Bang at the Old Folks' Home," but it really strikes me that song is just so twisted, and the visual that you put in your head is kind of just awful, So let me ask you, what is the expiration date for pussy? I guess is the question.
That's. You know what? That's the best fucking question you've asked the whole fucking time. And that's a great question because that's something that, that's the kind of question that people ask themselves, especially when you're in your 20s or your 30s and you start getting older and you go, God, is there going to come a point where I'm just going to be like, I don't want that anymore. Like that pussy's too old. Like I can't fuck it. But really, there is no expiration date. And that's why we wrote that song gangbang at the old folks home because, you know, a lot of people, you know, especially when you're younger, you don't want to give it a chance. If it's like, oh, that girl's over 70, she's over 80, I can't fuck that. Yeah, you can. Get those clothes off and just get up in it, and you're going to be like, oh, dude, this is way better than I thought, you know? I mean, you know, if it's too wrinkly for you or got age spots or whatever, you know, turn the lights down a little bit. You know, bend it over, stretch it out, stretch that skin out, make it a little more taut for you. You know, but I'm telling you, it's some of these old ladies. The good thing about these older ladies is they are so experienced. There's nothing they won't do. A lot of them don't have teeth. It feels great. You know, they'll take it in the ass. There's nothing they won't do.
Right.
10, 15 guys at a time. I mean, they figure they're going to die soon anyway. You know.
Right.
Nobody's going to judge them.
No embarrassment there.
No embarrassment, exactly. It's like no holds barred. It's just 100%. I don't want to screw. This could be the last time I ever get laid. And these old ladies are going for it.
Nice.
God bless them.
Nice. Well, Satchel, before I let you go, let me ask you what's known as the traditional classic metal show question. We always ask everyone this one, and you may or may not have an answer. But how has Lemmy from Motorhead influenced your career?
Are you kidding? Lemmy is one of the greatest rock musicians ever to walk the face of the earth. And one thing that Lemmy has taught me is this. Go 100% every fucking day of your life. And I think there's no better way to live than that. And you know, it's like, what a great life philosophy. That guy has just partied. You know, I saw Lemmy a couple years ago when I was playing a festival. And, dude, he looked great. He was partying. He was just going for it and living life the way he wanted to live and having fun, playing music with his band, touring, you know, and I think that's the way you got to live your life because life is short. You got to go for it all the time. And not to mention the fact that, you know, the way he puts his mic up above him, that's pretty badass. I always thought that was cool.
Hell yeah.
Like, he always looked rock.
Right. Definitely. Well, Satchel.
Yeah, he's
Well, Satchel, as we said, the name of the new album is All You Can Eat. It's Steel Panther. It's out there now. And Satchel, as a tradition on the show, we always let the artist pick a closing song from the record and maybe tell us a story about it. So, what song would you like us to play out of the interview with?
All right. Well, let's go with Glory Hole off the new record, All You Can Eat by Steel Panther. This song is a hard rocking song, and it's really about a place that I think every guy should go to on a regular basis because it really frees your soul and it makes your penis feel good at the same time. And I think it's the lesson to be learned out of this is it really doesn't matter who's sucking your dick as long as it feels good. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I hear you. I don't know that I agree, but I hear you. Well, in any event, let's check it out now. This is Glory Hole. It is Steel Panther right here on your Classic Metal Show.